Warm. I feel like I'm on a beach. Welcome back to another episode of the Nerd Holes. We are finally doing our top 5 desert island movies. So the premise going
Five
into
months
this,
later.
yes, yeah, exactly. We're still on the island. So the premise going into this video, the idea was you opened a thing of luggage from the plane rack, right? And there's 5 DVDs, and you somehow get a DVD player and a TV working. Because this is a game that we used to play as kids, right? But we didn't have Netflix, we didn't have phones, we didn't have computer like laptops, we didn't have tablets, we didn't have Nintendo Switches.
Right. Yeah.
So back in the day, it was like, these are the 5 books you can have, or these are the 5 movies you can have. And that was like that back when we used to play, it was VHS.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So you better hope that you had room in your luggage for the VHS tapes.
Or like a huge, yeah. Especially if they were the Disney ones with the huge like
Oh,
vinyl. Like
yeah, when they take them out of the vault. Yeah, they would snap open, right?
yeah.
And then sometimes it'd be like the little tape that you could like listen, like the
Mm,
songs would be on the tape that you could put in your
yeah.
car. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good times.
I remember our for our older listeners of our age, I used to have a Disney one, and if it something must have got in it, like strawberry jam. I don't know, who knows,
Of
right?
course. Yeah, it's always strawberry tea.
And it was the Fox and the Hound, and
Yes.
it was always I would be like, it would be always harder to open because it was when you would close it, it would like seal. No matter how much you washed it or cleaned it, it just like
I think it
you
was just
couldn't
that
get.
case. Because I think mine was
Well,
like that too.
maybe it was like
I
a
think that
default or a
that run of cases
defect in
were
the
really
production.
they were really tight. Yeah. So speaking of that,
Uh,
you know what that reminds me of? Didn't McDonald's used to, like, when they would do a Disney movie release, didn't McDonald's make toys that were supposed to be like the little cases that would pop open like the movie,
well,
and it would have
maybe.
like a toy in it, or it would have it was kind
I
of back
kind
when
of
they used to
remember
do like the
this. I kind
collective
of remember
cups,
this. I kind of remember this.
right? They were small.
Yes,
So they
no,
were
I know
like the
what it
V.
is. It was isn't it like the figure and then behind it is like the poster, like the VHS art, and he's like it's like they're on the thing like I'm Peter Pan, and behind me is like the VHS like poster art. Is
That
that what you
sounds
mean?
very familiar. Yes. Yeah, that sounds familiar. But I also remember like a thing would open like the VHS, and it would have something in it. Now I'm gonna have to look.
Hmm.
The last time I fell down one of these Burger King toy wormholes was when
Oh, don't ever.
all the Pokemon stuff came out in like '94, and I went
You can't
online.
go
I
down
went
those
online and
holes.
I bought like a bunch of stuff off of eBay. I was like, I
I
had this as
know.
a kid.
Uh, I did literally the other day, not even kidding you, like 3 days ago, because I was in the car for too long. I was on eBay and I was like, Hardy's animated X-Men toys. And I was looking at them and I was like, I had all of these. And I was like, and I
Wow.
looked and there was a bid that was like 99 cents, zero bids. And I was
Ooh,
like, ooh. And I
$1.
said, I don't need to do this. I don't actually need to do this. I can just enjoy it
It's
without
cool. It's
buying it.
cool.
It is cool. It is.
It's cool, and you forget about stuff. Like I
Absolutely
just
forget
remember
about
the
them.
other day, remember McDonald's, they put out like their own like Transformers where it was like the fry container would like turn into like a robot,
Yes,
or
yes.
like the
Those
burger
are my
box.
dad's. My dad loves those things. When we used to find when we moved from our second house to Westmoreland, he we found him in the attic, and he any of them that we found, he was like, don't like that. He wanted them because
Nightstand.
they
Put
were
them
like
on my nightstand.
right because they were like he had the fry one, he had the shake guy, he had like the hot cakes like Dinosaur with
Yeah.
like the case of the pancakes. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he loved them.
And
He
then the
loved
one
all
too,
of
because
those things.
remember they used to do the styrofoam, yellow styrofoam container with like your breakfast sandwich.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
they had
That's what I
like,
mean.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, I
yep.
remember that little guy. It's funny. I don't know if it's just nostalgia or like were toys so much better when we were kids, like from
They
like
just were.
Like
They
anywhere.
were.
Actually, now that I think about it,
I did. Oh yeah. Even
like
Wendy's had good ones.
this new run of like every time like a Marvel movie will come out, they'll do like the toys. They all
Yeah,
suck.
yeah, they do. Yeah, because like Jackson showed me he went to McDonald's and he got like Guardians toys. And they
Yeah,
were fine. Like they're well made. Like the detail on them is really good. But like all they are just like posed things. And I
yeah.
was
It's like
like, he doesn't move. He doesn't do anything.
no, no.
Like who cares? You know, honestly, I think really going back to your point to bring it around town is that that's all we had.
Yeah.
Like kids nowadays have tablets and video games and stuff. Like
Mhm.
we only had like home consoles and
Right.
movies. Like that's all we had. Like if you wanted to play, it was toys. You know, if I'm leaving the house, I'm bringing toys with me. I'm not bringing my Super
Yeah. Oh
Nintendo
yeah.
or anything.
Yeah.
It
We
was
used to
like
bring bag of Legos and
right because you know back then like kids didn't have their own private televisions in their room, so it wasn't like if I wanted to bring my Super Nintendo over to play with you, it was like well that means taking over our parents like living room TV, and
yeah.
it's like
Right.
most parents don't really aren't interested in that
Yeah. They're
happening
not
for
into
like 6 7 hours.
that.
So
Yeah, that's true.
so you'd bring over your action figures, you'd bring your Legos, you'd bring Pokemon cards, you'd bring
Yeah.
Pogs, anything, right? You'd bring
I remember like get-togethers, like big like group get-togethers that we'd all have, like family get-togethers, and like everybody would bring back then. I think they're kind of remaking them now, but back
okay,
then you'd buy a Pokeball,
yeah,
and it was spring-loaded, and they had little figures in them,
yeah, I
and they
think
had a
like
little, and they had a coin, and it had the number on it, the Pokemon number, and the name and stuff on the back, and you could clip them on your belt, just like Ash has all his Pokemon on his belt. And
yeah,
you could take them and like pop them on the table, and they would like pop open, and the Pikachu would like jump out because it had
jump
a
out,
spring in it.
yeah.
And we used to play with those all day, man. We would like throw them
Yeah,
out and do battles, and it was just you trade them. We would actually like trade. Like, oh,
yeah.
you have Poliwhirl. I want, yeah, no, I'll give you, I'll give you a Charmander for Poliwhirl, and yeah, it was
Yeah.
fun.
I mean, you'd never make that trade, but yeah.
No, my God, no. I don't even know. That's it's literally just because the two things that came to my head. I
Just
don't
the
know.
two things that came to your mind, but yeah.
No, you'd be a
Like
fool,
more like,
obviously.
can I
Yeah.
please give you my Poliwhirl for your tournament?
Charmeleon was the thing back then. Like, if you had a
Yeah, sure.
Charmeleon,
Charmeleon was cool.
he was
Yeah.
like the cool
Because
mad.
I think everybody, the big bad boy was Charizard, but nobody had that.
Oh yeah.
So,
Mm-mm.
so it
And
was
if you
like,
did, you didn't bring it.
no,
That was at
no,
home.
let's stay at home.
It is funny looking back too, because like you look at the evolutionary line of like Pokemon, and like the
Yeah,
middle Pokemon is always like the angsty teenager.
yeah,
So
yeah,
Charmander, he's like this little kid lizard,
yeah. He's
he's
like the
super
baby,
happy
right?
and
Yeah.
lovey. And then Charmeleon is like this mad, like he's just full of rage.
I hate that.
He's got these eyebrows, right? He's like, ah.
Yeah,
And it's like
yeah.
that all
I
the
mean,
way up.
but you like
War
that War
Turtle.
Turtle? Yeah, Ivysaur. Yeah, yeah.
Yep. And those are to me, I think those are kind of some of my favorite of like the Pokemon is like
Yeah.
the middle child is like my favorite.
A lot of them are good. Yeah, yeah. Except for Kakuna
Oh, well, yeah.
and
They're
what's the
they're
other one?
great at defense.
Metapod.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Pidgeot.
He's angry.
Pidgeot's angry. Yeah. A Pidgey's kind of angry too.
That's true. That's really true.
Oh man, that's funny. All right, well that concludes our
So those
walk
are
down
those.
memory lane.
Those are the five Pokemon we bring to her. No,
Dude, that's a whole other topic.
it's a whole other topic.
What's your best your top three Pokemon that you'd bring for your best chances of survival on Desert Island?
I mean, anything that flies or rides on water, really,
Lapras.
all the way.
The other you can keep. The other don't you?
I'd have Alakazam so he could play movies while I was on riding like Dragonair through the through the eye.
Oh my god, that's funny. Okay. So, all right, let's do this. So, top five movies. So, the category is have to be a DVD. So, I bent the rules on mine. I don't know if you bent the rules on yours, but if it comes in
Not
a
overly.
single, if it comes in a single DVD case, you're good to go.
Yep, if it's all contained in one
Yeah.
giant like thing, yeah.
Yeah. So, one case, if it's in one case, you can't have a box set like the old school, like
Right.
here's all these movies and here's all these movies in a separate case. If they're two DVDs in one case, you're good to
Right.
go.
Like when you borrowed the Star Wars thing, like in that
Oh, yeah.
case were the prequel movies.
Like all of them, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. All right. Well, why don't you start? Mine are in no particular order. I can.
yeah, neither are mine.
Okay.
Neither are mine. But so what I did was I originally wrote down because in reality the five movies I would pick would be the same
Yeah.
five movies, my top five movies.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, really, and just in reality, like. But then I thought, like, when I looked at my top five movies, I wanted to go more towards like movies that either made me feel good or made me laugh, because that
Yeah.
was what I figured I was going to need on the desert island if I was
Right.
stuck. Like, I don't want to be sad and upset like all the time.
So basically, neither of us are bringing like disaster movies or like Castaway.
Well, I have one disaster,
Oh, okay.
but when I was looking at it, like Back to the Future Part Two and Groundhog Day are about repeating the same day over and over again, essentially. Right? Like
Oh God, yeah.
and I was like, yeah, let's not do those.
That's a little too close to home. That's
A little
like back
too on the
when like
nose.
during the second year of COVID, we were like, zombie movies just aren't fun anymore.
Right. This
They're
this
just not
isn't it.
fun anymore.
Contagion hits a little too close to home
It's
now.
too much. It's too much.
So I will go with I'll go in this order of unlikeliness. So my first one is Independence Day.
Wow.
And a lot of that is just based off of that movie is just a big giant like blockbuster summer movie to like
course,
see in the
yeah.
theater and be loud and crazy. But there is something about that movie that I genuinely enjoy.
Yeah.
And I think what it is I tie like young kid memories in the theater with it. So I associate the theater experience as a young person with the movie now, because I've watched it many times, and I'll watch it, and then I'm like, this movie isn't really like amazing, but it's not
No.
terrible. But why do I like it so much? And I think it's that. I think it's because I have like good kid memories. I remember when they blast New York City and like the Empire State Building or the Chrysler
yeah.
Building blowing up, and it's like boom, 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 and it's going down. I remember people audibly in the audience like, what? Like everybody was like, "Are you kidding me? Like this is what's happening in the movie?" Like, And the thing that I'll never forget, and every time Adri has watched it with me or anything like that, that scene where Will Smith's girlfriend is in the tunnel with the boy,
Mm-hmm.
and the blast is coming down the tunnel, and she works her way over to the door, like the maintenance tunnel door in
Yeah.
the hallway, and she's kicking it and kicking it. and she gets inside, and the blast is blowing everything up. And then she's like, I think the dog's name is Kirby. I don't remember,
Mm.
but she's yelling for the dog, and the dog's like running, and she's like, "Come on, come on!" Now it doesn't make any sense. It wouldn't work at all physically, but the dog jumps into the doorway, and then like the fire goes by, and like the motorcycle going down the thing like
Yeah.
doesn't kill the dog, and everybody in the theater was like, "Yeah!" Like when the dog made it into the room, it
Yeah.
was the craziest thing, and I remember that. So
Hmm.
you know, the commentary on that movie is really fun, and it makes me laugh, and has a good feeling. I know most of humanity is destroyed in that movie, but
Yeah, but
it's a good feel movie at the end.
but you get Will Smith is great in that movie,
Yeah, yeah.
and
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum is amazing in that movie. The president is great. You know, he gives that great
Yeah, Bill
speech.
Pullman. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's
We're
great
going
in
to
that.
survive.
You get
Yeah.
the, you know, welcome to Earth. And he
Welcome to
punches the
Earth.
alien.
Bland.
I do like that when he finally shoots that fighter
Yeah.
down, and he opens it and he just punches him right in the face. Like that's such
Yeah.
like a human response
It
to like an
really
alien
is.
threat.
I gotta
So
be dragging you all the way through the desert. And what the heck is that smell?
he's great. He's great in that movie. So I noticed, Will, I noticed you didn't say anything about the sequel.
I like the sequel. I do like the
Yeah.
sequel. I don't dislike it. It's one of those things that like I'm interested in where they're going with it, but it was a thing where like
Yeah.
it didn't really need to be made.
No. No, we
And
didn't need to
I,
see like Jeff Goldblum's dad and
you know what, honestly, you know what it really is? I think at the end of the day, what really makes that movie just not that great, Will Smith's not that.
yeah, I think
Having
so.
Will Smith be dead and it just be the kid from the first movie, and they focus more on like Liam Hemsworth's character and the
Mhm.
president's daughter, which it's fine. It's just like it's just like honestly, the stuff I was more invested in is when Jeff Goldblum and his dad were doing stuff in the movie. I didn't really care about the younger people in the movie.
No. No, when Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum like sneak on board like the
Yeah,
mothership, like that stuff
yeah,
is so good.
it's great. Yeah,
And the sequel, we saw it in theaters. I don't think
hmm
we weren't even
hmm
doing, did we?
we did do one. Yeah, I don't think you posted it.
Really? I wonder what
Because remember
happened to
we
that.
talked we were over in the side porch, and you were drawing the thing that he was drawing, the thing that the images they were seeing in their
Oh,
heads.
wow.
You were
Yeah.
drawing it on a piece of paper, and you were discussing about. We totally did one of these. I just don't
Man,
know.
I don't know what happened to it.
It's probably just on your old computer or on your phone or
Yeah.
something. We totally
Hmm.
did one because we came back from the night, and then we went to the side porch. We did an audio recording. We didn't film ourselves. We just did an audio recording.
Oh, wow. I feel like there's a few that we recorded back in the
Yeah,
day that we
that
never
we
really
did
did.
that. We did
Did we
that
do it?
one.
Did I release a
Uh,
Ghostbusters one on here or no?
no, but we did a
No.
Ghostbusters one.
I remember recording one.
Yeah, and something else. We did another one. I don't remember what it was.
I'm surprised that the Wonder Woman one made it on YouTube, the one we did with
It's
Adri.
true. Yeah,
Black Panther and Wonder.
yeah. There's another one too because we went and saw it and we came
I
back and
think the
talked about it.
Ghostbuster one, it was because like it's not that we were like overly negative, but it was just like at the time everybody was putting out like, you know, this movie
Like
sucks.
garbagey. Yeah,
And we were like, it's not really fun.
yeah. At that point,
Like
yeah.
if we see a movie and we don't like it, like we're gonna tell you, but
Plus, I think it was just you recording me talking about it because I don't think you had seen it.
you no, I didn't see it. No, I wouldn't. I
Right.
teach Hollywood with my wallet.
so, so I think you were just letting me talk about it.
Yeah.
So it was more
And
just
you're
like a
like,
one-sided.
this is bad. And this is bad.
Right, right. Yeah. There was one other movie we did too during that
Yeah,
stretch.
I don't remember.
It wasn't Suicide Squad. It was something else. I just
Yeah. Because even to me, like we have the episode on here of like the shell. Like we went to go see the Shallows because like I love shark movies. Like I love shark
yeah,
movies.
yeah.
We went to go see that and we came back and I was just like, man, that's so funny. Like looking back, like of all movies that were like coming out and came out, like we did that, but we didn't do like Infinity War or Endgame or like any of these great movies.
You're like, nah, I don't want to do this.
But we talk about those enough to make up for it, I think.
Oh, all the time. Circles back there eventually.
Yeah. So speaking of that, number 5 on my list, Endgame.
Oh, okay.
Because like,
Isn't that number 2 or number 1 on your other list?
oh yeah, I mean
Okay.
it's top 10 all day,
All day. Okay.
all day. See, because it's such a long, um, uh,
You know what
because
you
it's
mean.
such a long list of like Marvel movies, but like I remember them in here.
Yeah.
So like with that knowledge, I can watch Endgame on its own and
Oh,
appreciate like front to back like why that movie was great.
yeah.
I mean, it's just
Yeah.
such a great like conclusion to a movie. It's you know, it's sad, but it's also like it's mostly positive. It's this
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it's time
It's the
travel. It's I mean, it's
everything,
got everything.
right?
It's got everything you want.
It's the one thing that you never, ever, ever, ever thought you would ever see from a movie,
No.
especially with what was on the line.
Hmm.
How easily that movie could have failed and
Oh
just
yeah.
been just a cash grab
Yep.
piece of garbage. It honestly
Well,
really could have been,
well,
and it wasn't.
When Infinity War ends and half of the cast is gone.
Right.
I mean, that's a pretty bold place to leave like this major like
Yeah.
motion picture, you know. This is an
Yeah.
Avengers movie. All the other Avengers movies have been set up. They beat the bad guy, they win. End of the day, they go get churros, right?
Yep.
Infinity War ends and it's like everybody's dead. Everybody's dead. Half of
Yeah.
humanity, like half of the planet gone. You're like, wow,
Yeah.
that's a lot to take care of. How are they going to take care? And
Yeah.
then Endgame starts, and they find Thanos
Yeah.
on his farm, and they kill him immediately.
Immediately. Yeah.
Immediately. But that's it because they can't go anywhere from there because the Infinity Stones are gone.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god! So it's like right off the bat again. It's like another. It's another.
Yeah.
They twist the knife in again.
Yeah, as we saw in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania,
Hmm.
Thanos atomized the stones. So,
I did see. Yeah, did you see? Yeah,
right, right, yeah. So cool.
that's a kind of
But
a
I mean,
cool little.
it was.
I didn't
But to
catch
your
that when
point,
we saw
like,
it. I didn't catch that.
no, absolutely not. I had no idea what they were.
No idea
There
what
were
was
so
happening.
many weird things happening in that scene.
No, I was too worried about the guy talking about his holes.
Drink, 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 whatever they were saying.
Drink the ooze. Drink the
Drink.
ooze.
That's what it was. That's what it was.
I was worried that
Yeah,
that guy was gonna steal our nerd hole bit. You know.
he was. Yeah, but no, I agree with you that. Yeah, no, it's definitely one of the greatest movies to
It
come
is right.
out.
I
I
mean, it's
mean,
easily.
to me, I've always said to like Adrian stuff like if you got kids, like what do you sit them down to watch? It's like listen, you got to watch the stuff I like, so that's a given. But there are just movies throughout time that you have to see them because they're classics, like Sound of
Yeah,
Music, Gone with the Wind,
of
Star
course.
Wars. These are movies that you have to watch. Endgame is one of them. It was a it was our era's Star Wars, to be honest. They did
Oh,
stuff in that movie
absolutely.
that you had never seen before. They've
No,
never done anything like that before.
no, and like,
And they will forever be trying to do it again, just like
yeah,
Star Wars. It's like Star Wars is fine and
even
all their it's like, but they'll never reach that like beautiful peak
no,
that they had in
and
'77.
so far, even like Marvel themselves, I feel like they're still trying to chase the dragon on that. You know,
Absolutely,
like they're still trying
absolutely.
to replicate what they. It's
They're
lightning
trying
in
to
a
do a
bottle.
yeah, they're doing a mixture of stuff like, oh, it's okay, we're not gonna, it's fine. Like we know we're not gonna do Endgame, but also Endgame.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
yeah,
but yeah,
it's the
no, we
girlfriend who
you know we're
says I'm breaking up with you, but still texts you at 11 p.m. It's like I don't want to hang out.
they're like
Like,
we're
what are you
never gonna
doing?
do anything better than Endgame. We're not even gonna try. We're not gonna waste money on anything. But
Right,
hey, Hugh Jackman, if we paid you like $6 billion, would you
right,
come to?
right.
No reason though, really. I mean,
No reason, no reason.
Ryan says he really Right? Why would
Oh,
right? Why would you?
absolutely. Yeah,
You
totally.
know, yeah. So for to me, it's just like it's just such a great movie. It's just like I could watch it. Like I could watch it right now before I go to
All the
bed.
time. All
You
the
know.
time. Every
And I
day.
watched, and honestly, I watched Ragnarok a couple nights ago over the weekend, and like I love that movie too. Like I could rewatch that again. Like Ragnarok is like such a good. I guess I love any Marvel movie that's like space and kind of crazy.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like that movie starts off kind of, you know, like a Thor movie. And then as
Yeah,
soon as
yeah.
he gets thrown into like the Grandmaster's like planet there, it's like, oh wow, like everything's bright and crazy and like
Yeah, yeah,
Star
yeah.
Warsy and futuristic, you know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's just fun. And
Yeah.
him and the Hulk and Bruce
Yeah.
Banner in that movie, like it's just such a great like pair up.
Yeah. It's a really good combo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
It's true.
Endgame is it. Of all the Marvel movies, and I've even debated having like No Way Home on my list.
Mm,
But it's just like
yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think if I can't bring five Marvel movies. I mean, that's ridiculous. So so
So
it'd
I'll
have to
bring
be
four.
so so it's Endgame. It's Endgame for me.
That's a beautiful choice. It's a good long movie too. You got nothing to
It
do.
is. Oh yeah. I just have hope I have enough coconuts.
Yeah. Well, number four for me, I can't speak to at great length because you have not seen it yet.
Uh-oh.
But it would be in my other list. Other movies that used to be in my other list, but other movies have come out like Endgame and some other newer stuff has come out where it kind of supersedes it. But it's Star Trek 8 First Contact.
Oh.
I can't get enough of the movie. I love this movie. I've seen it so many times.
Hmm.
I really enjoy it. I never get sick of it because even like
So
normal Star Trek stuff, like I'll watch and I'm like, yeah, you know, whatever, it's fine. And once I've seen it, I don't immediately go back and watch. Like you watch Enterprise. Like if I sat with you and watched Enterprise, I couldn't turn right around and start on season one again and watch it again. Some people can, like when they finish watching Friends or Office or something, like they'll just start over. It's like, I
yeah.
can't. I got to move on to a different series. But
Yeah,
that
I
Star
don't
Trek
think
movie,
so.
I absolutely could just be like, oh, yep, let's just pick
I
it up right up where it started.
I think I could rewatch season two
Okay.
for me because that's kind of like some of the if I remember all the seasons are all kind of blend together honestly, but to me that's
For
kind
the
of
sake
some of
of
the
Star
best
Trek,
character
yeah.
dynamics is like Trip and Malcolm are really great in season two and Archer's kind of more defined and like the characters are very like well rounded in season two.
You get a lot more charactery into, yeah.
Plus I feel like that's kind of the season that I tried to get through the quickest so I could get
Oh,
into three. So I watched like three or four of those like in a row. So I might have missed a few things. So I probably could go back. But that would be it. So this movie you're talking about, what time frame is that in? Is that Kirk
this
timeline?
this is a Jean-Luc Picard movie.
Okay,
It's pretty deep.
gotcha.
It's pretty deep into the Star Trek stuff.
I didn't know that era even had like movies.
Yeah, they have four movies. Yep.
So Picard's timeline has four,
Yeah. Kirk,
and
so
Kirk has two,
Shatner has six.
six movies.
Yeah,
Oh my God. Okay.
and Patrick Stewart has four movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
But are in those six, are you counting Chris Pine? Okay, great. Great.
No.
Perfect. No,
Well, I'm
that's
not.
no, it's perfect. I know Wrath of
No.
Khan. That's it. That's all I know.
Okay. Yeah. That's that.
Khan.
That one's called Star Trek Two.
Wrath of Khan.
Right. Yeah. So
Okay.
there's not much I could say about it because I don't want to spoil anything about it. They're just, when you eventually get there, you'll
Hmm.
understand or not understand. Maybe you'll be like, this is stupid. I hate
This
this movie.
sucks.
But
Glad I'm not on your island.
Yeah, but it's literally my favorite Star Trek movie, and there's a lot of Star Trek movies that are really good, and I really like them, and they're great, and they're funny. I enjoy them, even the Chris Pine stuff. There's stuff in those I really like. This
Yeah, I
one
like.
I can just keep consume.
I really enjoy the Chris Pine movies too, but I think that's because
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
like a super down the rabbit hole in Star Trek. Like I know just enough for those movies to be like entertaining for me.
The thing I could tell you since you've seen those movies without getting down a Star Trek rabbit hole is the thing that most Star Trek like hardcore fans, the thing they don't like about it is as you watch like Enterprise, Star Trek is not a giant shoot 'em up, blow 'em up, explosion thing. It's like personal dynamics and people talking to each other and like how do we deal with this really hard topic in life? Like that's
Yeah,
Star Trek at the core. Yes, they shoot and things blow up and things happen, but that's
yeah,
not really what it is. So those Chris Pine movies are much like
they're action movies.
explosion. Right, they're action movies.
Yeah.
So that's
No,
that's what the
I
fans
get
don't
that.
really like
Yeah,
is
I get that.
yeah.
Plus, you told me before the whole thing about like Benedict Cumberbatch being Khan,
It's
kind
rough,
of
man.
it's
It's rough.
yeah. But
You'll see
as
when
a
I
whole, like if you hadn't seen that stuff like me, you're like, oh, cool, Benedict
oh yeah,
Cumberbatch. You know, that's great. He's great.
it doesn't matter at all. Yeah, it's irrelevant really, honestly. He's a great actor. He plays a really good, interesting role.
Hmm.
Yeah, makes total
Yeah,
sense.
I can see that. Yeah. So, well, I'm
It'd
looking
be
forward to watching that.
it would be like they finally make a live action Rex and you're like, oh man, live action Rex, I'm ready for him. And then he takes his clone trooper helmet off, and he's played by like
Oh,
Gary Oldman, and you'd be like, why? Literally just put a white beard on what's his name, Truma. I can't think of his real name. You know, talking about the guy who
yeah.
plays
Terry
Boba Fett.
Machuman
Yeah,
Truckin'
it's
yeah.
like why don't you just putting a white beard on him? Like no, well, no, because Gary Oldman's a much better actor. You're like, please, like that's
Oh,
kind of what happened. Is you're like you know, he's such an iconic character, and then they recast him for somebody that you're like, no, no. Honestly, who would have been perfect in that role? And when you see the stuff, the content that Khan is in, who would have been perfect in that role is Javier Bardem.
oh,
Absolutely
wow.
perfect. He would have been amazing in that role. But
I
whatever.
like him in most things. So
Yeah, he would have been outrageously good.
he's the
But
only thing, honestly, that makes like the last pirate movie
mm,
slightly watchable.
well, honestly, out of all the Bond guys, he's like the
Oh
most
man, yeah.
creepy, like the most like oof.
His jaw when he showed, yeah. We
But
always talk about it. That's so funny.
yeah,
And that's so funny that you bring that up because number four for me is Casino Royale.
yes, yeah, that's hilarious. That's hilarious.
I
Yeah,
like of all
yeah,
of the
yeah,
Bonds
yeah,
and of all of Daniel Craig's Bonds, Casino Royale to me is a Bond movie that I can rewatch at any time.
yeah. I remember when we were watching it, it was like, oh, I could watch this again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a poker movie with James Bond in it.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
high stakes.
yeah.
It's great. I mean,
It's really
it's a
good.
great movie. For Daniel Craig to have that be his introduction to the Bond franchise, to me it's like such a win for him because it
Oh,
sets up his version of Bond like perfectly. And you know it
full
only
arc
gets
too.
better. Yeah.
I think what's nice too is like those movies are like you can go back and watch however many there are, six of them, five of them.
I
You
think
can go
five.
and
Yeah, we just did it.
yeah, I know. Um, you can go and like you can watch them and you don't got to worry about the other 30, 25, whatever they are, 20 of them, you know.
No.
But they're still self-contained, which is nice actually. It's like
Yeah.
I like that you get
And
his character and you don't got to worry about like, well, why is he doing this? What's his backstory? Blah blah blah. Like, no, you just watch the movie, you'll figure it
doesn't
out.
matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And for me, like I like Daniel Craig as Bond probably the most out of any Bond. If I had to pick another Bond, it'd probably be like Tony Moore era.
Oh, Roger Moore. Yeah.
Roger Moore. Yeah, not I always say Tony.
I think Tony Moore is the old UK Prime Minister.
Ah, well, that's yeah.
I'm
Yeah, so
taking, it doesn't matter, who cares?
Roger Moore.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He to me, I like him as Bond, and
Okay.
he
I
did a
don't know.
few.
I don't know. I grew
But
up
I
on
but
Pierce Bronson, so that's kind of like
yeah,
my
but
lean.
I can't pick a Pierce Bronson Bond movie that I'd want to watch again.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
like the joke always is with me, right? Is like it's always the one where he gets in the missile silo.
Right.
It's like it's the same movie. It's
I do
is
remember
that the
that
one in
thing.
the
You're like, oh,
ice or is that the
you're right. And they're like, no, that's not that.
No. Okay, so that's the one with the missiles. Like, no, that's the same one with the ice. Like it's the same. Oh, okay. I don't know. Golden Eye, die again. I don't know. I couldn't pick them out of the lineup.
Die another golden.
Oh,
Yeah, the part where he gets oh, that part where he gets poisoned. I don't know if you heard me. I it's Casino Royale, but
yeah.
just saying, like that part where he gets poisoned and he's trying to like figure it out.
Hmm.
Like
Everything
he
about
kind
that
of comes
movie.
to the realization. Yeah.
Yeah. He takes the salt water to throw up and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. But everything is great in those movies. I mean, I like Q. I like the girl in it. You know, she's great in it. I like the betrayal at the
Yeah,
end. I like the car chase, the torture scene. It's got everything that
yeah,
a great Bond movie should have.
yeah. It's true.
It's a great Bond movie. I don't know what else to tell you.
Plus, Mads Mikkelsen, right? He's
Yeah.
great. It's one of the
Oh
things
yeah.
I know. It's one of the things that I know we were talking about it before we got on here, but it's like one of the reasons I actually want to see the Indiana Jones movie is because like he's the bad guy. So it's like he's
Yeah.
great. So it's like I want it
I'm
to be him
af
to be good, but I don't know.
I'm afraid your friend Memphis was really my friend Memphis.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Well, speaking of bloody eyes,
Ah, I don't even know where you're
um,
going.
my number three movie, right?
Uh-huh.
There's a cat screaming. Sorry. And my number three movie is Rocky.
Oh wow. Wow. The
Yeah,
original Rocky.
the original Rocky. So here's the weird thing
Mm-hmm.
about it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about boxing.
Yeah. Don't like Sylvester Stallone.
I'm not a huge Sylvester Stallone fan. I don't mind him. He's fine, but it's like I'm not like,
Mm,
oh, what other Stallone movie can I watch right now?
not many.
But and I'm really and you know what's really funny too? Not a really big like romance love story guy. Like I don't mind it. I'm just not really into it.
So you just like Mick.
But I do like that.
Love him, yeah. You gotta
But for
keep
some
your
reason,
fists up, Rocky. Hey, you gotta...
they're gonna eat thunder and clap lightning. The thing that I don't know, there's just something about that movie that I love watching. I love watching that one and the sixth one, the Rocky
Mm.
Balboa movie that came out like 17 years ago.
Which one does he fight the Russian?
Four.
For? Okay. I can't remember liking that one.
So you know what's really funny? As a kid, that was like my all-time favorite movie. I
Yeah.
loved Rocky Four as a
Rocky
kid.
4, yeah.
Then I went and as an adult and I watched them and I was like,
You're like,
oh, Rocky Four is
no, thanks.
awful.
Yeah, it's the worst one.
But it's funny because I never thought that. I never thought that. And it's so it's like dripping with like America is better
Yeah.
than Russia. It's
Yeah.
crazy the amount that
Yeah.
they do in that movie, and that literally a boxing match between Rocky and
Yeah.
Dreykov is like the reason like the Cold War ends. Like they don't even like it's not like a ha ha thing. It's like, well, maybe we won't do this anymore. I'm like, oh, okay.
Rocky, and by the way, Rocky
It's-
would have gotten the crap kicked out of him.
Pulverized. Yeah, he was I break you.
I
Yeah.
drink more vodka and I kill you.
But yeah, I don't know.
Wow.
It's hard. It's really hard to place it. I really like
It's
that
interesting.
first movie, and I think honestly, it stems to Sylvester Stallone fought. He wrote that movie and he fought.
Hmm.
He put his whole he didn't even have an
Yeah.
acting career, and he put everything on the line for it. And you feel it. You feel it in the
Yeah.
movie. This guy, which I think it won an Oscar for Best Picture. This
Yeah.
guy put his heart into this movie, and you feel it when he's acting. He's not Stallone playing
Hmm.
Rocky. He's Rocky,
Yeah.
and I think it's one of those things that we talk about with like Robert Downey Jr. and Heath Ledger, and
Tommy Wiseau.
yeah, yeah. They're guys. These are guys that when they cast them, when they cast
You're
these
tearing me
guys,
apart,
they're
Lisa.
you're tearing me up.
Oh, hi,
Uh,
Mark.
oh hi, mom. Yeah. Um, like that's the thing. Like there, he makes it. He's the character, and I love it. That's what I
Yeah.
liked about that movie.
That's a cool feel good story that you can kind of tell in that movie, like Stallone has not done one day of acting in his life, you know. You can't even talk barely. You can't even
Right,
understand
right,
him the whole movie,
right,
you know.
right.
So that's cool. That's a
But I
cool
think that
feel
kind
good
of
story.
lends to the character, right? Like
Yeah.
him, him being like so nonchalant and like so like not professional and kind of like bad at talking just speaks to this guy's gotten punched in the head
Yeah.
5 million
Yeah.
times and he's just wandering around.
He
Like
sounds
it's
like a
just like
boxer. Yeah.
it right. It's just I don't know. I don't know. There's something
That's
about it.
funny.
I just really enjoy it.
That's
Even
cool.
Adri, I was like, hey, you got to watch this movie. And she was like, I couldn't give a crap about this movie.
Yeah,
And I
exactly.
was like, seriously, just sit and watch it. Like you'll like it. And she did. But and she liked it for for the romance, like
Hmm.
relationship part of it. She didn't care about the boxing part at the end. But
Yeah.
and it's like at the end of the thing, at the day, it's an interesting story about a character and his life and stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
kind of like a weird like Forrest Gump type thing where it's like you just get invested in like his life. It's a cool.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
why I like it. And the reason
That's
I pick
cool.
it for the island is because, at the end of the day, the underdog wins. Like he doesn't win, he just is like he doesn't get beaten. So it's like a good, like you were saying, like a good, like
Yeah.
hurrah feeling
Yeah.
thing.
I like that. I
So
I ran up those
those
steps
wow,
in Philly. Yeah.
wow. I've been to Philadelphia, but I never went to the museum.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. It's a cool area.
That is cool.
I saw a concert not that far from there.
Oh, cool. Same. I mean, I
Same.
did.
Yeah.
I saw a concert in Philly.
Cool. It's a cool area. It's a cool city.
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
it was pretty neat. So yeah, so those three movies, those are my uh
hmm.
like redemption. Like at the end of the day, we survive, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's those type of movies.
I like that. Yeah, that's cool. I would have guessed you would have picked a Rocky movie.
No, yeah, absolutely not.
Hmm.
But I don't. Other than like two is fine. Three, I don't really care about. Four is awful. Five is really not that good. But six, Rocky Balboa,
Fantastic.
is my other really favorite Rocky movie. It's again it just goes back to him playing a character and it has little to do with boxing. It's just about him being a character. And that's what makes it fascinating and a
So
good movie.
that's not bad. 2 out of 6. Uh,
Yeah.
not bad.
Swing it high.
Not bad. So speaking of Philly,
Yes.
it's a city that one day I would like to return, and that's why my number 3 movie is Return of the Jedi.
Oh yeah.
I get you for dreaming. So, of the original trilogy,
Okay. I'm with
for
you.
me, for me, I know a lot of people. I mean, this is a debate that's been going on for
Oh, forever, right?
millennia,
Yeah.
millennia.
Yeah.
Before Star
Yeah.
Wars was even a thing, people have been debating.
Yeah. No, no, yeah, no.
For me,
Which
Return of the Jedi is the one I
yeah.
always want to watch out of the 3.
Yep. 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 Same. 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 Same.
New Hope is great.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's great.
No
I
issue. Yeah.
don't like Luke's character in that movie. I hate the whiny farm
Yeah.
boy,
I
that
can
whole
agree with
thing.
you. Yeah.
Return of the Jedi is when he starts to shine. Boba Fett is more involved in Return of the Jedi. It's like the whole cast is more on screen.
Yes.
Story's more fun. Jabba's palace is more fun. You know, all this stuff.
I mean, everything about
Yeah,
the movie. Yeah.
and the
Lando's not just like a stupid guy who just betrays him and he's like a dirty friend. It's like he
yeah,
ends up redeeming himself by blowing
he's
up the
that
Death Star. It's
suave
like,
smuggler. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
No, it's great. I agree with you 100%. Of the original trilogy, if somebody has New Hope on, might watch it. If somebody's got
Mm,
Empire Strikes Back on, yeah, I might watch it.
yeah,
Yeah, but Return of the Jedi, oh yeah, let's see what scene this
yeah.
is. Let me sit
See,
down
the
and say, oh yeah,
Empire Strikes Back is I like it too, but it's below. It's below for me.
yeah. It's I think it's one of those movies that it's like it's so essential to have, right? Because it's the whole Vader
Yeah, yeah. You need it.
reveal, right? And like it's just there's a lot to that movie. He trains in that movie. There's a whole bunch in that movie that you have to have Return of the Jedi make sense, right?
Yeah,
But yeah, at the end of the day, I'm like, I'm not really that into it.
yeah. No, when Luke shows up and he's got his black robes on
Yeah, yeah,
and he's just like he's there for business and he's like done. I love
yeah.
that too. But
No, it's
you know,
good
and
stuff.
they all have their flaws. I mean, you know, for the trilogy, they all have things you're kind of like, but like you
And
said,
that's a yeah.
if that movie's on, like if you go to a Star Wars party and that's the one that's on, like that
Yeah.
or Rogue One,
Oh
like
wow. Yeah.
I'm watching. I'm sitting in the thing watching it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, the funny thing is too is like our other nerd hole person from Mario. He asked
Mm,
me what's your favorite Star Wars character, and he
yeah.
was telling me that his was Ahsoka and stuff like that. And I said,
Yeah.
"Well, you want to know who mine is? Mine is Wicket, and it is. He's my favorite Star Wars character
Well, your
because I
favorite
just
anything is this somebody this big.
oh I love it. Anything that is small and unassuming and like shouldn't in any capacity be able to like
Yeah.
outwit or
Yeah.
outsmart somebody. I love it. I love that
That's
type
why
of
your
stuff.
favorite Pokemon is Psyduck. Because he's this short, pudgy, stupid
I
duck.
love him. He's
But
stupid.
when his headache gets so bad, he blows up entire
Exactly.
cities.
I love it. I love that
Sorry.
kind of nonsense. I love it. I love it so much.
Oh, man.
That's even why, like, when you showed me here the other day, well, maybe I won't say it in case it's a spoiler for the channel.
Uh,
Ooh,
oh.
ooh. But
Mm,
you showed me something that you were making, and I honestly, out of those new movies, he was one of my favorite characters because he's
yeah.
so stinking funny in those movies because he's
He's
like,
pretty
oh,
funny.
well, I won't say what he does, but I like how he talks and I like what he does and all that stuff. So
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's not anything you can spoil. I've been working on about a Babu Frick like
oh,
diorama
okay,
thing. So he's first was seen in the I don't even know the names of the movies.
The
That's how
Rise
much
of
I
Skywalker.
that's no, it was the one before that.
Is he in Last Jedi?
No. No,
Rise of
Rise
Skywalker
of
is the last
Skywalker.
one.
Oh,
Okay, yeah,
no. Okay, so he was in the second one, whatever the second one is.
Last Jedi.
Yes.
I just
Yeah,
don't
see,
remember, but okay.
I mix those up because I just I don't care. So I always assume that yeah, you're right. Rise of Skywalker is the last.
He's fixing C-3PO in that
Yes.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There so his species is the Nezzalines is his species. They're droid mechanics by trade. So
Gotcha.
in the recent season of Mando on that planet there's this little it's like this wall and there's this little tiny door like down on
Yeah, yeah,
on the
yeah.
floor, and that's like their access door that they because they're like a foot and a half tall these guys, and you
Right.
go in there and they work on droids. It's like a big machine shop. It's huge. It looks like a airplane hangar. I just love the concept of like little dudes working on droids because they're small and they can get into like the gears. They can like hot wire droids and stuff because of their size, you know.
So I have to tell you this. I think you'll laugh. I don't think you'll. I don't think you'll roll your eyes at this. But when you were
No.
telling me about this scene and this character from Mando,
Yeah.
like re-seeing the species in Mando, essentially,
Yeah.
even though it takes place before Rise. All I could think about was Men in Black 2 when he opens the locker and all the hey, it's all I could think of.
Hey.
Okay, oh okay, oh okay, oh okay,
K-U-K.
yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
That's all I thought about, and I was like, "No, don't tell him that. He's telling me about this. Like,
What was the
don't
thing?
ruin it."
What was the thing they worship? Was it his key, his locker key? No.
It
His
was the
car
watch.
keys?
It was
The
like
watch.
a Rolex. And then they had like a movie
How will we
rental
keep
card.
time, Kate?
Yeah. How will we know? And then Jay gives him his. He's like, "Wow, I can't believe it." And he's like, "Sir," he goes, "What is your name?" And he's like, "My name is Jay." And he goes, "Jay. Oh hell, Jay. Oh hell, Jay. Oh Jay, Ken." He closes the lock. And I like the other thing
Oh
too
man,
is
that's so
is
funny.
the movie rental um
Oh.
like business card is like their commandments.
Yeah, yeah,
Number
yeah.
one, be kind, rewind. It's and then they say like always be nice to your neighbor and always the thing.
Oh,
And if he does something to you, like don't recall his past, like his past transgressions against you. And then it's like whatever. It's like it's all these things. And then the punchline is, and it says, and a large adult section in the back, and they all running.
ah.
Yeah,
Oh my God, that's right. Yeah, I forgot
it's
about.
a, it's a it's a it's one of the few things from the sequel Men in Black movies that are actually really
Hmm.
funny.
That's yeah, yeah. I'd agree with that.
Because Men in Black One is amazing.
Oh, it's
But
great.
after that, the other they're just not as good. But that scene is great.
Yeah, and three's pretty bad
Yeah,
to me. To me,
it's not
three's pretty
great.
bad.
I went back and rewatched it a couple months ago, and I still really don't like it. But it's not as bad as I thought.
Yeah. What about
like-
the Chris Hemsworth one?
Nah, I didn't like it.
No, I wasn't a fan of that either. All right,
But
give me your
Return
number
of the
two.
Jedi. So yeah, okay, number two.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to transition from Return of the Jedi to that.
Ah, you ruined it. We were on such a.
Um,
I'll play charades.
speaking of mystical wizard people,
Oh no!
my number two
Don't do this.
is Monty Python
Wow,
and the Quest for the Holy Grail.
it's a great movie.
It is, yeah. Remember when we went and saw it in the tiny little room here?
Oh, I loved it.
And I hadn't seen it in a while, and I know all the I know all the beats. You and I both, we know all the beats. There's not a single scene of that movie you haven't seen, right? Yeah. It's not. I've seen it. I've seen I've seen it
Yeah.
1,000 times. I laugh every
Single time.
every single time.
And we saw it. So our town has like this old like historical theater, and they built like a little adjacent theater to the side,
Yeah, like this
and
tiny
we went there
room.
to see
Yeah.
it. Yeah, and it was pretty fun. It was a packed room. I mean,
It really was,
People loved
yeah.
it. A lot of the Monty Python stuff is pretty funny. Honestly, it's that
Well,
British humor, you know.
Yeah, I mean, even Adri, who's sometimes doesn't always think stuff is super funny. Like we're not always on the same page with humor, but man, she still quotes things to me to that. She'll say things to me like she'll say, "I fart in your general direction" or whatever, whatever.
Your
"'Tis a
mother
flesh
smells like
wound."
elderberries.
Yeah. Yeah, father smells
I'm a
of elderberries.
stinky Frenchman.
Yeah. I told him we already got one.
Ha ha, good one.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Oh, and the
told you, I
rabbit.
told you. But you didn't want to listen.
When they throw the grenade at the rabbit too, man. Oh,
Yeah.
so funny.
And the grapes and the orangutans and the fruit bats. He's like, skip a bit, brother, skip a bit. So
Yeah, no, you're right. I could go watch that right now and
yeah,
laugh.
it's hilarious. That part where he's talking and he's like, he's in the tower and the wedding's getting ready and he's like, okay, son, I'll see you later. He's like, oh, where can I? He's like, no singing, no singing, no. And he pulls the pipe from the window. And he goes to the guards outside and he goes, okay, you stay here while I go down and he goes, okay, so I come in here and no, you stay here. You watch him while I go down. He goes, got it. And then they start to follow him down the stairs. He's like, what are you doing? We're following you. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the most famous quote that like everybody quotes is "Tis but a flesh wound.
She's but a flesh
I
wound.
I can still fight. Come over here."
A flesh wound, your arm's off. No, it isn't.
No, it isn't. Oh man, yeah, that's a great movie.
Yeah.
I kind of figured
just,
that would be on your list somewhere.
yeah, so you think about it, right? If I was alone on a desert island,
Oh man,
I wanted to laugh. And that's
and you'd
gonna
have
make me laugh.
coconuts.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. I do have coconuts.
You can pretend like I just picture you on an island with coconuts, pretending like you're on a horse, chopping the hoofs, like everything. Oh man.
That's how I patrol the island.
Exactly.
You there?
Talking to seagulls and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god, that's funny. That's good. That's a good.
And that
pick.
DVD, that going to your point, which I did, I mixed up some stuff in my list. That DVD that I have of it is good stuff. It's got some episodes of Monty Python Flying Circus on it. The commentary is really good, so it's a good meaty DVD.
Good. That's what you're gonna want. So, speaking of wizardry things,
Yes.
my number 2 is I found a DVD Blu-ray set of
Oh no. Yeah.
all 3 Hobbits and all 3 Lord of the Rings.
Wow. In just one box.
One DVD case. Yeah. Wow. I'll post it. I'll post it here. I'll put a picture here so you know I'm not lying. Because my thing is the original Lord of the Rings series is great. If I had a choice, if we were doing books, I'd bring the books because books are better. And The Hobbit is much better. The book is much better. But I love the movies too. I love the Hobbit movies. I know like a lot of people don't super enjoy the movies, but I've read the books. I love the books, but I really enjoy the movies too. I really enjoy the Hobbit movies.
Yeah.
They veer off, obviously, but
of course, yeah.
it doesn't really do anything to change the story so dramatically that I'm like, oh, well, you can't take this movie seriously.
Right.
They didn't even have trolls. They had orcs.
Right.
Like, what? Like you're gonna nitpick like goblins and orcs and trolls?
Right.
Dude, come on. But I could watch those movies. Yeah, probably, in all honesty, I would have all 6. In all honesty, the Desolation of Smaug is probably like the best one to watch. Like it's the most entertaining. It has the most like rewatchability. So you have Benedict Cumberbatch is Smaug. He voices Smaug. And short, no, what's his name? The guy he plays Watson.
Oh, Martin Freeman
is Bilbo Baggins.
Yes.
So I honestly I kind of like I like Bilbo's story more of like the ring, like using
Oh,
the
he's
ring.
definitely the more likable Hobbit.
I right
Nothing against
I think so
Frodo, but I
too.
definitely, yeah, he's.
And
I
I don't
don't.
know if it's
I
because I like Martin Freeman more
maybe. I
because
also think he's just written differently. Like Bilbo is just written differently than Frodo. He really honestly is.
well, so here's the thing. So Frodo is like he wants adventure. Like he
Right.
wants to leave the Shire.
Right.
So his story is like, he's pure of heart. He's the one that can carry the ring. He has to go on this amazing journey across the entire continent to destroy this ring. By the time he gets there, it almost corrupts him. It's a great storyline. He basically dies to get it there.
Yeah.
He dies at the end, right? So again, it's a great journey, but Bilbo is almost like forced into it. He wants like the whole reason he wants to be done with this job that he agrees to is because he wants to be home. He's a homebody. He loves
Mm,
being home. He loves making food. He loves eating the cheese out of his pantry. He just loves being
right.
on this. Like, why wouldn't you? The Shire is beautiful, right? It's a beautiful like.
Right. It
So
is nice. Yeah.
so it gets to that point in the movie where it even makes me kind of like tear up. Is like, um, man, I can't remember anybody's name now. I haven't seen him in so long. The main dwarf, uh,
Oh.
heir of the throne. Oh,
Oh. Yes, I know you're right. Yeah. It's not Aragorn, but I know.
no, but it's close. It's man,
Yeah. 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 I can help you
yeah.
out. I'll
So
pull it up.
he, so Bilbo basically like saves them all, and he's like, why didn't you just go home? Why didn't you just run away? And he said because
Thorin.
Thorin, Thorin Oakenshield,
Yeah.
and Bilbo says like, I love my home, and I wouldn't want to lose it, and you don't have a home, you lost yours, and I want to help you get your home back. So it's like this
Yeah.
great, you know,
Yeah.
it's such a warm, it gives you like such a warm like feeling. And he's the master burglar. He's been hired to be the burglar. And like
True.
everybody thinks Smog is gone. Like Smog that's hasn't been a thing in forever. And there's so many like great dynamics between like the wood elves, kind of like don't get along with the like nobody wants the dwarfs to retake like the castle because they A, they don't want them to have that much power and money, and B, they think Smog, the chance of Smog coming back is like still a threat.
Right. Right.
And I love that like dragons in the lore of like they love gold, like they harvest gold. So that's like why
Mm-hmm.
they take the castle in the first place is because like Smog, he's obsessed with like wealth. So
Yeah.
anyway,
No.
like,
No. Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah, I think that would be for me. I think that'd be the one. I think Desolation of Smog would be the one I would
Okay.
probably rewatch. And then the first Fellowship of the Rings is a great movie too.
It's true.
They're all pretty good. The second one's pretty good too. I forget what the second one's called.
Definitely have a nice big epic feel to them all. They have like a nice
It's a
big like
huge
journey.
it's a huge universe. It's a huge
Yeah.
universe. Like super fleshed out. I mean, and to me that's kind of where like everything comes from JJ.
Peter Jackson.
No,
Oh.
yeah, Peter Jackson
Oh.
directed, but
Oh.
R.R.
Yeah.
Martin, not
Yeah.
Martin. Martin did
No. Uh.
R.R.
Tolkien.
Tolkien. Man, I'm a huge fan and I can't even remember anything. Tolkien for
Yeah.
me, Tolkien paved the way for like Elder Scrolls and Skyrim and
Oh, massively, massively.
even like Martin, like we were just talking about like Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Like that wouldn't exist. And
No. No.
not that like it's good and not that you should watch it, but it wouldn't be there without
No.
Tolkien. I mean, Tolkien kind of paved the way for all that stuff. Like
I
Dungeons
mean,
and
I.
Dragons,
That's what I was just gonna
like
say. I think honestly,
that's tough.
like it's like the Hobbit stuff brought about, and Lord of the Rings brought about like dra- uh, uh, Dungeons and Dragons,
Yeah.
like you're talking about. And if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have my Star Trek thing. So it's like
No,
that's all based off of that. So it's like,
no, he basically wrote the rules for all these like creatures and
right,
stuff. I mean, like Polish and Sweden, they all have like folklore and
oh yeah,
fairy tales and stuff. And that's kind of where all this stuff kind of comes from. All these like creatures and monsters and dragons and all that kind of
yeah,
stuff comes from that. But he took all that stuff and he expounded on it. I mean, he created his own language. Like the Elven language is a real language that you can
yeah,
learn and speak in like Elvish. Like it's
yeah.
insane because I think that was his
Pretty wild, right?
background.
Yeah.
Tolkien's background was a linguistic, and so that's kind of he
Oh,
made
okay.
up
That makes sense.
the language, and he said, I should put this into a book. And he basically made Lord of the Rings. It's insane. Well, he made The Hobbit, obviously, first, but it's
Right,
crazy.
right, right.
Yeah, it's
It's
crazy.
crazy how these guys will just sit down and they just stuff comes out of their head, right?
But
I mean, you
I,
think about him, you think about George Lucas, you think about Gene Roddenberry. It's like it's
mhm.
nuts what they came up with for their time. It's crazy. I mean, it's
Yeah, and look at George Lucas's inspiration for Star Wars.
yeah,
It was the last shonen, like samurai movies
yeah, yeah,
and westerns. And he
yeah,
said, "What if I do both in space?"
yeah, yeah,
And that's Star Wars.
yeah,
And the same thing for like Star Trek. Star Trek is awesome. It's like, hey, so what if Earth is in a time period where everything is peaceful, there's no war, and we've also like went out into the planet and like all these other planets, we all help each other. We all made this like federation of planets. Like everything is peaceful and we're all about
right.
exploration and helping
Other
everybody on
people,
other
right?
planets. It's great. It's
Yeah, but it's like a thing that those people don't. I mean, it's from nothing. It's like
yeah.
yeah, they had influences, but now all that stuff is like just in our vocabulary, right?
I
Jedi's,
think yeah, right.
Klingons. It's like
Vulcans.
dragons. Yeah, right. It's
Vulcans are
like
basically space elves. I mean,
phase out. Oh, absolutely. And Klingons
but
are dwarves in a way.
they're
It's just like
space dwarfs, you know.
yeah, yeah,
Ferengis are space trolls. I mean,
yeah. It's like it's all right there.
it's all the same, you know.
Yep.
But yeah, so Roddenberry kind of made that stuff during a time in history where like it wasn't super, it was kind of shaky, right? Like there was
Hmm.
wars.
Oh
Wasn't it
yeah.
during like World War II and
He
was it
made that
after
stuff
that?
like during like the Vietnam War.
Oh, was it that was that early?
Yeah.
60 something?
66, yeah.
Yeah. So he's coming from a place where like,
I think probably what you're thinking is I think he served in World War II.
oh, okay. I gotcha. Yeah, yeah, that's what I was thinking. So he comes from a place where like war was happening, so the stuff he made obviously is more like he was picturing a better
Right.
earth, a
Right.
better free from all that stuff.
Yeah, he was tired of seeing um, you know, black people be oppressed and like war like devastating the earth and just people
Yeah.
being greedy and nasty and stuff. So
Yeah.
he was like I
I
mean his
like that.
pitch to CBS or well his pitch to any TV studio that would take him was it's wagon train in space.
Yeah.
It's just it's there are a whole bunch of because you look at it, it's like Kirk and all the guys are cowboys, and Spock is the Native American
Yeah.
who's helping them traverse the
Yeah.
land. It's like that's just what it is.
And then when he told him about that episode of, Kirk and O'Thera were gonna kiss, they said, "You're gonna do what on TV?"
Yeah,
That was crazy
yeah,
for two reasons. I mean, that's like first interracial kiss on television ever. And that's an era where like married couples on TV sitcoms slept in separate beds.
yeah,
So it was
yep,
like, wow.
yeah.
How
I think
cool is
it's
it that a
like
sci-fi show, a stupid sci-fi show did that?
yeah, it's pretty crazy because I've looked into it and they talked about. It. I think it's like it's the most popular, but I think it's like number two on the list of the first interracial kisses. I think the first one is a black and white British TV show.
Oh, okay. So maybe it's the
That's
first US
that's
one.
Maybe that's what it is. But anyways,
Okay.
but I agree. It's like
I know it's the
when
fur. I
anybody
know
talks
it's
about
yeah.
it, that's what they talk about. They don't talk about the other. They talk about Star Trek,
Yeah.
and it's true. I mean, he just say what you want to say because like that show is steeped in '60s issues of
Oh yeah, obviously.
men and women stuff and all that stuff. But it he was
Yeah.
revolutionary in what he was trying to promote.
Yeah, Pike's not too happy to have women on the bridge, I've found.
Mm, mm. Well, you know what? Unless you got something to say about your more about your
No,
number two, I got a
no,
great segue
I'm
to
done.
my number one.
I've talked enough about. Yeah. Speaking of women on the
My
bridge,
speaking of women on the bridge who serve a useless role, my
Pirates
number
of the
one.
Caribbean.
No, my number one is Galaxy Quest.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
this is
It's another.
all logical. This is.
This is it's another one of those movies that I can always watch in 11.
I love that movie. I told you a couple months ago we gotta have like we gotta set the screen up, the outdoor screen, and we gotta play Galaxy Quest on it. We gotta just have like an
It's
outdoor
true.
watch party.
Bam, 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 ba-da-da-da-da. Yeah,
It's
it's
so good.
Why is everyone screaming? Oh, it's okay. He's okay. His insides are on his outsides, and he exploded.
We need your help.
Oh,
What's the thing that we always quote? I can't think of it off the top of my head.
I never give up, never surrender.
Yes. Never give up, never surrender.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
and I think as you get more entrenched in the Star Trek world, you'll like that even more because
Yeah.
it's really playing on the William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy like experience. Oh yeah, yeah, there it is. Bam, 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 ba-da-da-ba-ba-ba. Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah, I have it hanging up on the wall. This came in a
One of the
crate,
loot boxes, right?
loot crate. Yeah, it was like a
Yeah.
Galaxy thing. Yeah, it's pretty cool. You know what's funny is what Star Trek has taught me recently is that like I love patches and I love
Oh,
like logos, like ship logos and Federation logos and
things that like things that signify what this means and what it is.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're a
there's that
guy who likes
episode.
accessories.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's that episode in Enterprise where Trip goes to Columbia and he's got his Columbia jacket on.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah, it's
oh,
different.
I like that too. That's cool.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know. It's just I love that movie. Obviously, I'm a big Star Trek fan, so it lends to all that good stuff. But it makes me laugh, and
Yeah.
there's so many good actors in that movie that just some of them are people that like are hugely famous now that were just nobodies in that movie. You know, like
Oh, I know.
Sam Rockwell and
Yeah.
like what the heck is his name?
The monk
Rain
wasn't even a
Wilson.
thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Rain Wilson. That's
Tony
right.
Shalhoub. Yeah, it's just like people
Yeah.
are in that movie that even
And
Justin Long. Like,
Alan Rickman is gone now too.
yeah, yeah. Honestly, I like Home Improvement, but to me, it's
Yeah,
like
it's
one
not
of the
my favorite.
best
Yeah.
Tim Allen movies. You know?
I would agree with that. Yeah, I would agree with that. The Home Improvement to me, Tim Allen is too Tim Allen-y for me in that
Well,
show.
yeah. I think honestly, because it used to be on TV at night, and I would watch it, and Adrian hated me watching it because
Yeah.
he's
It's
so
so over the
it's
oh
so
oh oh
dated.
oh.
Yeah, yeah, it's so dated. But I think it's one of those things that I used to watch as a kid, so it just feels good to watch it
Yeah.
rather than like you're actually like, no, this is kind of stupid.
See, I would rather watch the actual like Home Improvement show that like they're recording on the show. Like I'd rather
Oh, Tool
watch
Time,
that.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, because it's more like, this old house and
yeah, true. Except everything's blowing up or exploding there. Yeah.
am I if you go bowling, what's your favorite type of like snack?
Pretzel nachos.
You not nachos? You like nachos?
I don't.
Oh,
But
I like nachos.
well, I can't with the cheese, so it's just
Yeah, well,
chips.
that's
I
true.
do like
That's true.
chips though.
Chips is good. We had down in Disney, we had these loaded pulled pork
Oh,
nachos.
oh, wow, that sounds really good,
They were
actually.
so good. So it's like nachos and cheese and I think it was
Like barbecue. Oh,
corn and then jalapenos, and then on top was like smoked pulled pork on top.
wow.
It was like it was so good. It was so good. And speaking of nachos,
Okay.
my number one movie
Oh,
is Nacho Libre because
wow.
I could watch
Mm,
that movie on repeat like constantly.
yeah. That would
It,
honestly, that would be my number six for the island.
it's well, if we're stuck together, you don't even have to worry about it. I mean,
Hey, all right. Yeah. Wow.
it to me, it's just it's so weird and it's so funny, but it's not one of those like it's so stupid it's funny.
No,
It's
no,
just
no, no, no,
so
no, no.
out there that it's
Yeah.
funny, like the
Yeah,
concept
yeah,
is
yeah,
funny. Jack Black is hilarious, right? That role is hilarious.
yeah.
And everything around him is serious almost. But
Yeah.
he is like the goof that doesn't fit. And it's
Yes.
so funny to me.
It's
You talk
so,
about
yeah.
a movie that you can quote, like, how you quote like Monty Python, like all the time.
Hmm.
I can quote Nacho Libre like all the time, like every time.
Yeah, 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 yeah. When he's like, I like when he elbow drops the chips. He's mad and he's like,
He crushes them.
yeah.
He blows them. He blows them. It sucks to be me right now.
You're right.
Say
Oh
again to
man.
my face. Say again to my face. I hate all the orphans in the world. Oh, what's that?
Yep.
Come here. Say again to my face. Get that cord out of my face.
Get that corn out of my face. Yeah.
But the all-time like thing that like Rob and I will quote in the work truck all the time is the part where he goes in to Ignacio's room and
Okay.
he goes, "All right, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Who is this Encarnacion?" And she's like, "Well, I like to serve the Lord. I like puppies. My favorite color is red." And he goes, "You got to be kidding me. Those are my favorite things to do every day."
Everything you just said is my favorite thing
It
to
is
do.
so funny.
Every
She
Yeah.
names one thing that's like an activity. And he's like,
Right.
he's just so not in the conversation.
He's not. No, he's
He's
not.
just
Yeah.
distracted because she's beautiful. And it's this whole group of like monks. They've never even seen women. Those are
Yeah.
my favorite things to do. And,
Uh,
oh man,
it's really
so
good. No, it's totally,
such a
totally good.
great,
Yeah.
it's such a great movie.
I think you and I when we played online a couple times and done some other stuff, I always sing to you the bubblegum, bubblegum,
Bogan,
bubble.
Bogan for
That
me.
was good.
Yes, I'm a man who was very expensive.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah, and that is a crazy lady. This is where I buy the groceries. That is a crazy lady. Sometimes when you meet your heroes, they turn out to be a real douche.
it's like this. It's like this part when he go. I think he does this.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do it really well on camera, but he goes like this. And he rides up in the motor.
Yeah, when he specifically does the.
Yeah.
Oh, my all-time favorite part, right,
Yeah.
is when the church finds out that he's wrestling. It's forbidden to wrestle. You can't wrestle your neighbor.
Right.
The church finds out that he's wrestling, and he goes, "Tonight, I'm going to go up against the 10 strongest fighters in all of
Oh,
Mexico.
yeah.
And I know God will be on my side. He will reward me and I will give all the money to the church. I'll feed the orphans. He gets his butt kicked in like the second round.
Oh yeah.
Gets beat. He walks back to the church because they've all watched it. They've all watched the broadcast. You know,
Right.
they're not supposed to watch it, but they all watched it. He walks
Right.
back to the church, and his clothes and his white boots are sitting in front of his door, and he goes, "Well, you can't win them all."
God win them all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God. He gives this amazing speech about, you know, God's on his side. There's no way he can lose. It's all for righteous, you know.
Yeah.
Well, you can't win them all. Oh my God, it's so funny to me.
Yeah. It is. No, it's really funny.
So yeah, between our list, Galaxy Quest and Nacho, I mean, those are like, you know, one right after the other. I mean, you can
Those-
watch.
Those
Galaxy
are like
Quest and
hidden
Nacho.
gems, right? Those are like
They
hidden
are.
gems. Yeah. It's kind of like if you missed them when they came out, you know, it's hard to go back and like fall in love with them now because they're just
Yeah.
like they're just not as I don't know. There's just something about like you watch those things when they happen.
And the thing too is like if ever I bring up Nacho, everyone says, "Oh yeah, I remember Nacho," but I really liked
Napoleon Dynamite.
Napoleon Dynamite, and I'm always like, "Yeah, Napoleon Dynamite's funny too, but it's not Nacho.
No.
It doesn't hit like Nacho." Again,
No.
Napoleon Dynamite is stupid to be stupid.
Stupid, right? Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, there are funny parts in Napoleon, and I
Oh,
like
absolutely.
But
Yeah,
Nacho is
absolutely.
it's just this sweet spot of like, it's a great Jack Black movie, and it's a great like
Yes.
wrestling movie. Like, and
Yes.
it's pretty authentic for like Mexico, like wrestling, like Spanish wrestling. It's
I mean,
interesting that
honestly,
it's
other than Jack Black being in it, it's like it's a pretty like Spanish movie. You know, it's like pretty
yeah,
legit.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
My other favorite Jack Black movie would be like School of Rock. Like that, I can
wow.
rewatch
Wow.
that. I can rewatch that
Alright,
a lot
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
It'd be like a
Yeah.
runner up for me.
Yeah. That'd be your number 6.
That would be my number 6.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So before we conclude this, I've been listening to a podcast, Shuttle Pod One, which is
you know,
Dominic Keating and Connor Trenier. from
so the other
Enterprise.
day,
Uh-oh.
no. So
Okay.
my neighbor, so in my recent video, I did this thing where I made this Zelda thing for my neighbor's a big Zelda fan. I found out a couple weeks ago. I made him a Master Sword. Anyway, he subscribed to my YouTube channel. And on YouTube, you can click on somebody and you can say like, hey, so these are the channels he subscribed to. You want to know what number the third channel he subscribed to is?
Shuttle Pod Show.
Shuttle Pod.
Yep.
And I was like, yeah, it's the show Will's always talking about. He knows what's up.
Yeah. So on that, when they interview various Star Trek people,
Mm-hmm.
they have a thing called Connor Trenier's Island.
Oh no.
You're stuck on Connor Trenier's Island, and they ask every single guest questions. And I said, you know what? We're going to do this video, and I'm going to ask Caleb
Oh no.
what your
Is
desert
this
island
something that you're going to
questions
incorporate? Are you going to incorporate this into your Star Trek show? No.
Mm-mm,
Okay.
mm-mm, no.
Every
If we had
episode's
like, if we had guests, maybe, but
Yeah.
no. So
no, every week
they-
you just ask me a different random question.
I mean, I am.
You can come up with like
something.
6 million of
Yeah.
those, right?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. So the things that they ask are, you're stuck on a desert island, and you can have, I gotta think about it. There's a bunch of them, not a ton of them, but I just gotta remember how they say it. So what would be your literary works? So they in the shuttle pod thing, they give you a religious text, whether it's like the Bible or something, or like the Quran or the Talmud. They give you that and the works of Shakespeare. So you already have that stuff.
Okay,
So they
great.
give you those two things. Your author. So when you pick an author, according to their rules, you get
Oh.
all of their books,
Okay.
all of their works. That, your music, so your musician, you pick one musician or composer or whatever, and whoever you're picking, you get everything that they've produced. Um, your dessert, so a dessert that you like. So if you say cookies, you get all cookies.
This is a
Okay.
weird. This is a weird rule. Yeah.
It's weird. It's weird, but this is what they do. So cookies and then cuisine. So if you say, you know, Mexican, you get all Mexican food.
Huh.
And then the last one is um, a luxury item, but it's an item that you can't get on. It can't help you get off the island, and it can't. They've let a dog come on, but they're really finicky about like company, so they
Wow.
don't let
Okay.
like wives or husbands go or stuff like that. So, but it's usually an item that doesn't help you get off the island, and it's like a. It can be like they kind of lean more towards like survivor stuff, but people have said some pretty wild stuff, so it doesn't
That's
have to
interesting.
just be a survival tool.
Hmm.
So now,
So like a
after I took,
luxury item, like make your life better.
right, yeah, something to make your life better. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you don't
So,
need to get off this island if you pick chocolate
right,
chip cookies
well,
and you get all the cookies you could ever.
right.
So a
So
luxury
we go all
item
the
on
way.
an island where everything is taken care of would be like a Switch.
Yeah,
Or like
true. That's why he says it's kind of Trinier's Island because it's 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 like it's well groomed and well taken care of. So so we go back. What would be your author?
man, that's a hard one. Um, yeah, that's tough. I so like obviously I want to go Tolkien, but he
Okay.
doesn't have like a ton.
Yeah, they're just
So
really long. Yeah.
think I think for the sake of not having a TV and like crime documentaries, I would go with like Grisham.
Okay. Yeah.
John Grisham would be good. He's got tons of books, true crime
Tons of
books.
them. Yeah.
So that would be mine.
Okay. What would be your musician?
And by the way, the Shakespeare stuff I'm using for kindling. Um, my music. God, that is hard to pick just one like musician. Say probably like Black Sabbath and Ozzy
Okay.
because they
So
got,
would you
you
pick
know,
Ozzy Osbourne or would you pick like are you picking Ozzy Osbourne
I'll
and so
pick
you're getting everything?
yeah, I'll pick Ozzy and get everything because he's got some pretty good solo stuff too.
Yeah. Okay.
That's hard. You know what I've been really into as of lately
Tough.
is there's a couple guys on YouTube I really like. They do like heavy metal covers of like
Oh yeah.
Disney songs and like classic
Yeah,
songs.
yeah. I've
And
seen
they're
some. I
so
don't probably not the
good.
same guys, but I've seen stuff. Yeah.
They're so good.
They take a certain flair that you wouldn't think could be added to it that's is really good to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
And pirate shanties have been really popular.
yeah, yeah,
And I've been
they have
really enjoying like there's these guys that do these like bass, like deep throat like bass renditions of like pirate shanties and like old Irish songs, which are things that I really
it's
like.
pretty cool.
That so if it wasn't Ozzy for me to pick Ozzy, I would have picked like um I would have picked like Gaelic Storm or like the Dublooners, like a
Oh, I understand. Okay.
classic Irish band. They do a lot of like covers, but the old time
Yeah.
folky stuff.
Yeah.
I really like all that stuff too.
Okay, so your dessert.
Just dirt. I don't know. I'm not a huge dessert person,
You
honestly.
know, it's funny that this is happening because we were in a diner yesterday and we
Yeah,
were looking at in New Jersey and we were looking at it was like a huge like sweets thing.
yeah.
And Adri said, "Oh man, look, there's key lime pie. Caleb would like that." I said, "Oh,
Mm,
really? He likes key lime pie?" And she goes, "Oh yeah, he really likes it." I said, "Really?" I said, "Oh, I've never heard him talk about it." She goes, "Yeah, he's not really a sweets eater." I said, "Really?" So I've seen him eat like cookies and cake and stuff, and she's like, "Yeah, he eats it, but it's not like he's goes out of his way to like have it."
yeah. So if we have like people over for dinner and somebody brings dessert, I will have dessert because it's the proper thing to do, right?
I
It's
see.
the
Okay.
during like October, November, like I love pumpkin pie. I love a slice of pumpkin pie and a slice of apple pie with vanilla ice cream. But I'll
Okay.
have maybe like two for the year, if it's there, I'll have a slice.
Right.
I don't seek it out. Like I don't crave it the rest of the year. Key lime pie is really good. It's probably one of my favorite pies.
Yeah.
Um, Even like my brother, he loves donuts. I could
Okay.
take or leave donuts. You know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
a headlight donut with lemon, like lemon icing,
Yeah.
like the jelly.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
It's like my favorite donut. And like I'll have one. So yeah, what do I honestly it would have to be Reese's.
Okay.
Anything Reese's. Like it. So like if I pick Reese's,
You get it all everything.
you get Reese's Pieces, you get Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, you get Reese's Eggs, Reese's Trees,
All of it. All of it.
Reese's Ice Cream.
Yeah. Yep.
That's probably my go-to. Reese's Peanut Butter.
Yeah. Anything with Reese's peanut butter. Okay.
Anything
Yeah.
with Reese's in it. Yeah. I just bought this ice cream the other night. It's so you know how my favorite I don't know what they're classified as like Little Debbie's,
Okay. Yeah.
right? So like you have zebra cakes, Little Debbie's, Ho Ho's, and then you have Star Crunch.
Oh yeah. Star Crunch. Yeah.
Star Crunch are like my favorite. They used to be my after school like treat. I would come home and I'd have
Like-
one.
Yeah.
And they were like my favorite, like whatever they are. I don't even know what they're like a cereal bar or
They're
something.
like those Rice Crunch things on the outside, and then it's like chocolate and
They're like Rice Krispie like cookies essentially.
yeah.
So I found this ice cream at Walmart the other night. It's Star Crunch ice cream.
Oh.
So it's chocolate ice cream and it has the Star Crunch like pieces in it.
Oh.
It is phenomenal. Okay, phenomenal.
Is it?
See this ice cream? You're gonna love this ice cream. Okay, it's phenomenal.
So
It
would
was
you
really good.
would you
No,
replace
Reese's.
it? No.
No,
No. Okay. No.
Reese's. Because they only make that. They make that ice cream and they make the bars. That's it. I love Reese's.
Okay. What would be your cuisine?
My cuisine would be. It might be a little bit on the nose because I'm on a desert island, but honestly, like I could live off of seafood,
Okay.
and I don't have an
Yeah.
allergy to it, which is good.
Yeah.
I can eat crab, shrimp, like anytime.
So do you think
Lobster.
you'd lean? Do you think you'd lean more towards like
Shellfish.
like American seafood, or do you think you'd lean towards like a Japanese?
Well, so here's the thing. If I just say seafood,
oh,
I
I
get
see. I get all of
sushi,
it.
right?
That's true.
I get sushi. I get
Yeah.
Atlantic salmon, which is like salmon is like my favorite fish.
Yeah.
I'm convinced because I love raw salmon sushi.
Yeah.
I'm convinced that like I could fish and I could catch a salmon, and I could just like fillet it and just
Yeah.
eat it and just be totally fine. Like I'm convinced of that it'd be the freshest sushi you've ever had.
Hmm.
Because I mean,
I
that's
don't
basically what it
know.
is.
I mean,
That's
you're
basically what it
right,
is.
but I don't know for sure.
I'll do it. I'll show you.
I'll have to. What I'm gonna have to do is you can write emails and things into these guys, and I'll have to be like, "Hey, so my brother-in-law said these things for your choices," because Dominic is very particular about what people say. Like they get real heavy with like, well, come on, like some people are like, some people have said I like Californian as their cuisine because then they get everything that's in California, and they're
No,
like,
see that's
get outta
no,
here.
see I picked good stuff.
You did.
I
you
picked
did,
realistic
you did.
stuff. So
I
seafood,
agree with you.
seafood is everything.
Is right. I agree with you.
Sashimi, it's sushi. Like I love sushi. I can eat
I
sushi
think
all the
it's
time.
good. I think your choices are great. I think you've met the niche that a lot of people haven't, where you've said the right thing to get like so much stuff. Because saying Reese's, you get like candy and ice
Yeah.
cream,
Yeah.
and probably pies, right? Because they make those like frozen
Oh,
pie
yeah.
things. So it's
You
like
gotta know,
you've got
you gotta know
this
your
like
market.
unique.
You gotta know-
And I think your last thing is your luxury item, or like your item to make life easier for you.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, that's hard. So like, so the island, does it have like fresh drinking water at all time?
Yep.
Okay. So I wouldn't take a bucket to collect rainwater, so that's good.
Well, no,
What do
wait, let me
I
think about this. I'm trying to think what they present. No, I think it's basically you just have all of this access to all this stuff, but you still have to survive on that.
Oh my
I
God.
think
Well
that's their
then,
premise. So you might not have fresh water.
oh, well, I'm gonna want some fresh water then.
Okay. Okay. You want like one of those like emergency straw things or something, right? Like the
I don't know. So if the island has
or
like a
just
fresh
access to fresh water. I know what you mean. I
if
see
the
what you're
island
saying.
has like a
Yeah.
fresh stream, that would be perfect.
Yeah.
That would be my luxury item is water because you can have all the Reese's pieces you want, but 3 days without water,
I
buddy,
got something to drink.
that
You
ain't gonna
know?
be too good. Ah, I'm so thirsty. These Reese's aren't doing anything. These Reese's
And
aren't
the
even taking the
Shakespeare
edge.
goes down so dry.
I just always think of Anchorman. Oh, it's so hot. Milk was a bad
No, we're bad.
choice.
Yeah. Why do I keep drinking it? Yeah. Perfect. Well, you played Counter Triniers, stuck on Counter Triniers
Nice.
Island.
And I made it.
You did? Yeah. I had to write into them to let them know how they feel about
Yeah, let them. Yeah, keep me posted.
it. I will. I'll write
I'm
it to them.
very.
They did.
I
You know what's funny is my name is, they answer a question. So it's kind of funny.
do it. That's That's
Yeah.
cool.
It's really weird to hear my name
Yeah,
be spoken. It's really weird. Like, really, really weird.
it is weird, isn't it? Like even these like there's a couple like little stupid like live streams that I get in like on YouTube sometimes, and
Yeah.
I'll like comment on something and people will, like they'll read it and like they'll answer my question. Like that's weird. And you know what's weird too is sometimes I've like listened back to like old live streams when I'm doing stuff because I like just hearing like live streams and stuff. And I'll be doing
Yeah.
something and I'll hear my name. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is the one that I like. I was doing something on I was editing a video on the computer and I commented
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
responded, and now I'm listening to it like months later and I don't even remember it's the same episode. I'm like, oh yeah, Caleb Stoddard. I'm like, okay, this is weird.
Really connect terribly to our what this is, but down the pipeline, we're gonna. The next thing I'd like to do is Caleb and I are gonna try to tackle specifically two 90s movies that he likes and two 90s movies that I like that are kind of sleepers. Like we as kids really like these movies and we kind of forgot about them and forgot that we were super obsessed with them, and not a lot of people talk about them on the internet. So no Independence Day, no Men in Black, no Jurassic Park, no Super Mario Brothers. None of those movies. So,
That's funny. Yeah, I forgot we were doing that.
maybe down the pipeline, it's kind of like a similar tone podcast. So I got my two. I know what my two are. So I'm interested to see what your two are. It's okay. We got.
I
time.
keep going.
Yeah.
I keep going like this on them.
Oh, okay.
And then so on your channel, Will, why don't you tell everybody what we're doing over on your channel?
So on my channel, we're gonna do a weekly beat for beat of Star Trek.
Oh,
So
we
Caleb
get to
has
do
seen-
yours weekly.
Oh,
Oh, that's interesting. Just kidding.
well, that's only because we don't.
Well, that's because
have-
there's 7 billion episodes of stuff.
right, exactly. Yeah. So Caleb saw pretty much all of Star Trek Enterprise. And I was like, well, since you've dipped your toes in and you actually really enjoyed Enterprise, let's get you fully immersed. Let's just
Why
take
do
the
you watch all the
plunge.
stuff that makes Star Trek not enjoyable?
Yeah. So we're gonna watch those, and we're gonna we're gonna watch them chronologically because that I find is the most appealing.
I gotta tell you, it was so. The other night, I watched the first the
The
cage.
cage. Mhm.
I don't. I think I got like 20 minutes left, but
Yeah, yeah.
I gotta tell
It's
you,
long.
like, it's a yeah. That's what I know is like all those episodes are like an hour long.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's really kind of crazy going from like a 2000s era show where I left off with it, and then the first episode of like this 1965 show, they're like, "Oh, that might be the beacon from the Columbia that disappeared." I'm like, "Whoa, that's cool."
Right, right.
kind of
Because
cool.
it's like
Yeah,
it's a.
I'm like, I
It's
kind
like
of
if
got
you started with that, you'd be like, why am I watching this? This is hard. This is not fun to watch because it's slower. It's just slow
yeah.
paced, and it's old TV writing, right? It's just like it's how they deliver
It was funny.
things.
It made me feel like an idiot because I was like, how do they know about the Columbia?
Yeah,
How'd they know about it back then? Oh man, that's
yeah.
crazy.
But
But it wasn't.
so
It wasn't actually the Columbia.
no, it's a completely
It
different
was
ship.
these people. I don't think his. I think he's gonna do this to the window.
You're gonna be ready. So that's what we're doing on our. We're doing it weekly. We're gonna do it chronologically. I'm going to try not to torture him too much.
Whew.
He watched The Cage only because that is the
Like-
failed pilot, and we'll talk about it on my channel. So
I hope you're doing a whole historical, like preview, like intro,
what do you mean?
like setting it like you gotta set, like the year's 1968.
Oh yes. I'm going to explain the whole
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, we're not
I
just.
figured you did. I got.
There's a whole
book
bunch.
for-
There's a whole bunch to that I know you're not familiar with, which you need to know so you can understand. So
Sweet. Yeah, so I'll put a link in my description for your Via Non Capta channel. That's where you're going to be hosting the episodes. Yeah. So that's cool. So your channel is going to have our RPG, Star Trek RPG
Mhm.
game, and your rewatch weekly podcast on it. That's going to be cool.
yeah, it's gonna be Trek Central, Trek heavy.
It's going to be Trek Central. So if you don't like Trek,
Don't go.
hit the deck.
Just stay here with the nerd holes.
Yeah.
There'll be
And if
some
you're here-
Trek here.
If you're here and you don't like Dragon Balls, hit the walls.
Perfect.
That's really
Perfect.
stupid. It's really stupid. It's
Is it though?
It's like
I mean, is it? I mean, we're called the nerd holes. Is it stupid?
no, it's pretty good actually. It's
Yeah.
funny that the I got this beach green screen behind me the whole time, and I feel like I'm on a beach. Like it's so hot in my office tonight
Oh no.
that I literally have been like sweating this whole episode. Like I feel like, oh, hope those
Yeah.
Reese's Pieces are coming soon.
You did it. You did
I really could
Ah.
use some water.
it. You got to lean over and drink it like this.
Put your pinky up.
Yeah.
I definitely don't need it. Oh man. All right. Well, that has been our walk down memory lane with McDonald's and Burger King toys from the late 90s into the early
Yeah.
2000s, and we also managed to do our top 5 desert island movies. So I hope you guys
Yeah.
liked the video. A lot more to come, as you have seen. And if you've watched up to this point, thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel, like the channel, and stay posted for more prop videos. I got a bunch of things I've been working on, just kind of been lazy about spending hours editing videos. So I got some cool stuff coming out. I got yeah, you probably already see it by the time this is out, so I won't even talk about it. So I'm gonna go.
But he made it, and it's out there.
Yeah, it's doing great too. I mean, woo, look at those numbers go. Woo. Wow. 6 views.
It might be even one of these recommended videos. Whoa, wherever it is on the screen. Maybe it's here.
I only put the nerd hole videos in the recommended video.
Oh.
It's fine. All right. Don't worry about it. Mm-mm, mm-mm. All right. Well, that is it for us. We will catch you the next time we go down another nerd hole. Am I frozen on your screen? You're frozen on my screen.
Am I?
Yes. You've been
No,
frozen
you're
for a
going
little
like
bit.
this right now, and I see you
I
doing
can't see.
that.
I can't see you're frozen.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna stay like that in the recording or if it's kind of weird.
I'm moving so much, so if it's not,
No, you're smiling on an island. You've been smiling on an island for a while. You said Galaxy Quest is froze. You're still talking.
I hope the Zoom thing is keeping my video
Yeah.
so that when this ends, you'll just be like, I don't know, you're frozen, and I'm just doing crazy
Right.
stuff over on my.